In today's news, opposition leader concerned about the economic impacts of the coronavirus.
Government updates the public on the suspicious case of coronavirus here in the British Virgin Islands.
Sewage project to commence in King Garden Bay and Eastern Longlet communities.
Decomposed body of a man found in Jean Hill today.
Minister made aware of persons living on boats in the territory.
And Mrs. BVI Globe 2020, the contestants are finally revealed. These and more stories when 284 News returns.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for calling CCT. Trumpet speaking. How can I help? Well, so you know February is the month of love. Yes, and we all love data. And because we love you so much, yes, we decided to give double data. But wait, let me slow it down for you. Follow my voice. Activate any hero plan, double data. Activate any 2 gig plan, double data. It don't stop there. Pay your bill before February 12th and have a chance to win a lunch or dinner for 2. Yes, I said it. For 2.
Double the data and double the fun when you fall in love with our deals for the month of February. Activate a hero plan or 2 GB data plan and get double data. That's enough for you and your boo or your crew. And don't miss out on the chance to win lunch or dinner for 2 if you pay your bill before February 12th. Activate any hero plan or 2 GB data plan. Come enjoy the month of love on us.
Thank you for calling CCT. Have a blessed day. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for calling CCT. Trumpet speaking. How can I help? Well,
Hello everyone. It is Friday, the 28th of February 2020. Of course, we're ushering in the weekend, but before we do that, we have to bring you your edition of 284 News. I'm Javon Wilson.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes.
All right, we'll get right into it. Now, viewers, I know you've been following the local headlines of a suspicious case of coronavirus right here in the British Virgin Islands. Well, officials at the Ministry of Health and Social Development have announced that there are no confirmed cases of coronavirus in the British Virgin Islands. The ministry issued a statement on February 28, that is today, of course, stating that it was notified of a returning national whose travel history and flu-like symptoms led to the isolation and testing of the individual in accordance with normal response protocols. They said, quote, "Presently, the individual is confined at home and the coronavirus test had been done to confirm whether it is the novel corona infection. The results will be available within 3 days, while the health surveillance team is conducting contact tracing and monitoring of persons who have had close contact with the individual," the statement read. Now, health officials continue to warn the coronavirus spreads from human to human and is very transmissible at short distances. Symptoms can range from mild to severe, with elderly persons and those with pre-existing conditions being more vulnerable to severe illness or death. Travelers are advised to avoid outbreak areas or contact with visibly sick people. The public is advised to frequently clean their hands by washing with soap and water for approximately 20 seconds or using 70% to 90% alcohol-based sanitizer. Now, for more information on this, on the precautionary measures against the coronavirus, please contact the Ministry of Health and Social Development at the number 468-7742 or the Environmental Health Division at 468-5110. Persons can also visit the government's website, that is bvi.gov.vg, or follow the Ministry of Health on Facebook. More information, of course, will be forthcoming to the public as it becomes available. Now, Kyla, I think, really alleviating the fears in the British Virgin Islands. The Ministry of Health, the minister, of course, led by the minister, and his team of professionals across the BVI held a press conference yesterday, which also included the Honorable Premier as well, to just really speak to the concerns. We know there was a voice note that was circulating, which kind of brought it to the forefront of the case, the suspicious case in the British Virgin Islands. Based on what the Premier and his team said yesterday, the preliminary tests would have confirmed so far that it is highly unlikely. However, they are still waiting on a few additional tests. Those tests were sent off to Trinidad and Tobago. We're awaiting the results. Hopefully within the next 3 days, we will be receiving the results to completely make a decision on whether it is the coronavirus or not.
Right. Javon, I think we've been having a lot of conversations surrounding the coronavirus, and this next story actually speaks to this, but it really speaks to the economic effects. You know, the opposition leader, Honorable Marlon Penn, expressed his sentiments that the coronavirus is already impacting the territory via its economy. Although there have been no confirmed cases in the territory, as you just spoke about, Javon, Honorable Penn pointed out that the impact on the financial services sector is major, and I don't think people have realized or associated the effects with our financial services sector.
Right.
The Asia Representative Office of the BVI FSC in Hong Kong has been closed since the 31st of January. One of the main purposes of the Asia Representative Office is to serve the BVI institutions which operates in Asia. Now, Honorable Penn rightfully pointed out that the BVI financial services industry represents over 40% of its shares in Hong Kong, China, Asia, and the Pacific region. The BVI Financial Services Commission is now, offering services through their Virgin system to accommodate clients in that region. That, since the closure of the Hong Kong office, persons can get more information on that. It can be found on the BVI FSC's website. Now, Javon, understandably so, persons are frightened by the possibility of the coronavirus rearing its head in the BVI. But are we as a territory paying close attention to the effect of the coronavirus and the effect that it can have on our economy? It is important to measure the possible impact economically of the coronavirus. Thus far, businesses in Hong Kong, China, Asia, they are closed, they're working shorting shifts, and businesses are engaging in little to no business activity. Although our borders are being carefully monitored, as we, speak about all the time, our financial services industry and the potential economic impact needs to also be closely monitored. Javon, earlier in the year, we spoke about the decline that we saw in revenue in our financial services industry, and I don't think we're realizing that this coronavirus, although it stemmed from Asia, it can have a really great effect on our economic activities here in the BVI.
Absolutely. I think it is a legitimate concern that the leader of the opposition, Honorable Marlon Penn, made. We have to look at this holistically. We saw, even in China, we saw, the market shutting down completely, and they have lost in a catastrophic way. A lot of persons have ceased trading with China because of this type of activity. And when we think about the financial services sector, a sector that has forever supported us, been our main economic pillar in the British Virgin Islands for so many years, we ought to be very concerned about, the effects of this virus and how that will trickle down to our dollars.
And the decline that we saw was just from other global pressures, and now this is just one more thing to add to this to consider.
It's definitely something to keep an eye on. I know our officials are doing the best that they can, so we trust that as that information becomes available, we'll be bringing it to you, our viewers. It's still ahead. Mrs. Globe BVI 2020, the contestants were revealed today. Stunning lineup of ladies. We really cannot wait to get into that. And the minister is concerned about persons living on boats in the territory. We're discussing that and a lot more when 284 News returns.
What you really running for, boss? You could have bust a hole in your head. But see with the competition, it's mean about to bust a hole in your pocket.
I could get my modem, please.
Anyhow, I got something huge to show you.
I gotta be sick in your head.
Well, hold on, string bean. Taking a kind of party. Check this. That's LTE1 for just about everyone. LTE2 for you and your boo. And hold on. Bam! Rate so low, you feel like you're free. That's LTE3 for you and the whole family.
Save even more on your internet with new pricing from CCT. Get LTE 2 now for only $149. Get LTE 3 for the new low price of $189. All packages are unlimited, so there's no overage charge. You don't have to run into Chaz for savings. Just stop by our store and sign up today. Come on over to CCT. Life Unlimited.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. Now, today marked the grand reveal of the Mrs. British Virgin Islands 2020 contestants. First up, we have contestant number 1. Her name is Miss Rosita Scatliff Thomas, very beautiful young woman. She's an entrepreneur and an educator, and her platform this time is called LADY, and that stands for Leading and Developing Youths. Now, the second contestant, of course, is no stranger to the stage. Miss Stephanie Aquila Bruley is a student and entrepreneur, and her platform is self-love. And last but certainly not least, we have the beautiful Felicia Tanj Fenton, who is a renowned salon owner and hairstylist. Her platform is Walking into Purpose. So the pageant, viewers, goes down on Saturday, March 28th at the Island L. Parsons Auditorium. It will be a tasteful and enjoyable event as everyone arrives for cocktail, of course, followed by the grand show that promises to keep us all talking. Now, to tell us all about it, we have Mrs. Alicia Green. Of course, she is the franchise holder of the WIN Foundation as well as the Mrs. BVI pageant. So let's listen on what she had to say.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Alicia Green, the director of WIN BVI. My team and I are very happy to be producing this year's major fundraiser for our organization in the form of a VIP cocktail and show. The VIP cocktail, everyone's VIP, we're going to be having international guests visiting for our weekend of activities, and our shows are usually packed with enjoyable entertainment, and it's a very tasteful production that we're going to be putting on this year with 3 lovely candidates vying for a Mrs. British Virgin Islands title. The ladies will be showcased in swimsuit and evening gown. They will also be presenting for the first time to the public their platform message that they will be pursuing for the rest of the year should they be Mrs. British Virgin Islands. Now, this year is going to be really interesting and very different because we are introducing new concepts and new categories or ideas to what we're trying to do with women as a whole. And I'm not going to say too much, but I'll just stop there and encourage everyone to come out to HLSCC on March 28th and enjoy what we are putting together for you.
Now, viewers, at that very event, we will also be hosting the CEO of WIN International, who also happens to be the CEO of the Mrs. Globe International pageant. She's flying into the BVI along with a few other misses from across the region, and the Globe, of course, to usher in our new queen. Mrs. Green further said that the production slated for March 28 is a great opportunity for persons to learn more about the WIN Foundation and understand the role that Mrs. BVI plays in relation to the WIN Foundation, not only nationally, but also abroad. Tickets for the VIP cocktail and show are $75. The WIN pass for both of the WIN events, including the Reclaiming Me seminar, which will be held the day before. That is March 27th. That ticket is $100. Ticket outlets includes Umi Fashions, Beautiful by Jasmine, and JNC Department Store. So, of course, if you want your tickets, be sure to hit up the Mrs. BVI Facebook page, as well as you can call the number 440-4122. Now, of course, this is a grand event and couldn't be possible without sponsorship. So Mrs. Alicia Green wanted me to highlight a few of the sponsors, which includes Caribbean Sellers, Quito's Luxury, in BVI, the BVI Tourist Board, of course, National Bank, BVI Finance, Diamonds International, and Paradise in Perfection, and a few others. Our queen, which is our current queen, that is, which is the beautiful and stunning Mrs. Chandra Turnbull. She represented us so well in Beijing, China last year. I'm sure all of you viewers would remember that. She placed 6th in the world, top 5 in popularity, and she also secured the Woman of Excellence award. Now, with such a promising lineup, Kyla, I am super sure that we'll have another great representative flying the BVI flag high come Mrs. Globe International 2020.
I agree. Mrs. Globe in the BVI is a relatively new and budding franchise, but I'm loving it thus far. We've had some amazing queens coming out of this pageant. Awesome stuff. And just the contestants, beautiful ladies. So,
and what I love about Mrs. Globe BVI and similarly Mrs. World BVI is the fact that they share a humanitarian platform, in the sense that it's not conventionally, like, you know, we
just
know
a
conventionally
beauty pageant.
know it to be just a beauty pageant, what you look like physically, but it's how do you use your influence to make a positive impact in the community. And when you look at the platforms that will be presented here, I mean, 3 dynamic women, 3 completely different platforms, but really speaking to some of the ills in our society, some of the things that we ought to be addressing. So I'm really proud of Mrs. Alicia Green, who also happened to win the Director of the Year award in China. I'm really proud of the pace, like you said, that has been set by our previous queens, including our reigning queen, Chandra. And we are so excited to see what's going to happen this year.
Definitely. Now, viewers, Honorable Vincent O'Neill, Minister of Natural Resources, Labor, and Immigration, during the last sitting of the House of Assembly, admitted that the issue of persons working in the territory but living on boats throughout the territory was recently brought to his attention and is now a concern that he will address. Now, Javon, Honorable Wheatley further explained that although the Immigration Act does not currently address the issue of persons residing on boats, the spirit of the law implies that living accommodations in the territory should be land-based. The minister, he spoke to the fact that he is aware of the housing challenges that we have had since the 2017 hurricanes. But his main concern with persons living on boats permanently is the environmental effects of it. Of course, persons sailing in our waters and just vacationing in our waters is one thing compared to someone living there for a long period of time. Are they disposing of waste properly? That's one of the biggest issues that he has. Honorable Wheatley was adamant that this practice must be discontinued, and as the minister responsible for the Virgin Islands environment, he assured that the measures will be put in place to correct this ever-growing practice. But what I would ask you, Javon, is can this not be a possible alternative? We spoke to the fact that the immigration law kind of implies that accommodation must be on land, but have we thoroughly looked to the opportunity that this might bring us?
I mean, all across the world, this is something that happens, I think. I think we have to, in this case, and like the minister is alluding to, we really have to pay respect to the law. Outside of the environmental effects, you have to think about the fact that someone might possibly be evading their, financial responsibilities, and all those things essentially tie into building the economy. I mean, we need the dollars. So trying to kind of boycott that responsibility, I'm not sure if that's necessarily the best thing to do. I know, like you said, it has been explored throughout the world, and it is an alternative maybe to be explored here
Exactly.
too.
That's just the question. Is
Right.
it something that we can look
Possibly.
possibly look into, because have we explored it, thoroughly enough to see if this is even an option?
A viable option. Well, I
Yes.
do know for sure there is a shortage when it comes to living accommodations, especially post Irma, and us having to suffer so many damages to our properties. A lot of persons are still rebuilding.
Right.
Homeowners are still rebuilding. Landlords are still rebuilding, and so there is a shortage. And equally, I mean, rent prices are to the sky.
Exactly.
Prices
So-
have been inflated tremendously.
Exactly. So this might be pointing to an even bigger problem.
So viewers, still ahead, we have a man who was found this morning, his decomposed body, that is in Jean Hill, and a sewage project to commence in King Garden Bay and Eastern Longlook. I know our viewers definitely want to hear all about that
definitely.
one, so stick around. You're watching 284 News.
Is business slow? Cash flow down? Hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
When you need to stay connected with friends and families at home or abroad, the best choice for you is Freedom. CCT Freedom. With the lowest rates in the market, our Freedom plan gives you unlimited calls and texting. Plus, our Freedom One package includes 10 gigabits of super fast, unlimited LTE data and unlimited calls to the BVI, USA, USVI, Canada, Puerto Rico, and UK lines. Why pay for overages when you can enjoy CCT Freedom? Stop by at one of our stores today and speak with one of our representatives to find out more about our CCT Freedom packages.
Viewers, welcome back to 284 News. As we move on, Minister of Utilities Honorable Kai Reimer is promising to commence the sewer network project on facilities in Eastern Longlook and Kingarden Bay. As you've said before, Javon, this is something that has been long awaited by the people of
absolutely.
the BVI. The minister said that these two areas will be prioritized for a comprehensive overhaul and completion of the sewer system. In Kingarden Bay, Minister Reimer informed the House that the Kingarden Bay sewage project is being undertaken in 2 stages. The first phase is the procurement, assembly, installation, and commissioning of a new wastewater treatment plant that will treat all the sewage within the Kingarden Bay area. Now on to phase 2 is the installation of new gravity and force main lines and lateral lines. It will also include the installation of new pumps, with control systems and backup generators. The minister anticipated that works will commence in the second quarter of 2020 on both of these phases. On to Eastern Longlook. Minister Reimer said that in Eastern Longlook community, the sewer project would be done in 4 phases. The first phase is the installation of the new gravity and force main lines, along with construction and installation of manholes starting from Camtown to Long Swamp. It is anticipated that the works will commence on this phase in the 4th quarter of this year. Phase 2 will commence from Fat Hogs Bay area to Paraquita Bay wastewater treatment plant, while Phase 3 will involve the supply, installation, and commissioning of pump stations and control systems along Palmtown to Paraquita wastewater treatment. The fourth phase of the works are the repairs and commissioning of the Paraquita Bay wastewater treatment plant. All of the phases will be issued for bids at a later date.
I'm so happy, and I know a lot of persons across the territory
Yes.
are really rejoicing. As we said, the issue of sewage for so many years.
Especially in these two areas,
Yes.
Javon and
And then
King Garden
in
Bay.
town too. In town
But I'm gonna just put it up there for the people in Eastern Long Look. Like,
It's been a long time
yes,
coming.
we need it.
Right, absolutely. And I'm very happy because, you know, when you think about the health risks too attached to issues
Yes,
like this,
exactly.
you just really want to have it under control. I mean, I think Minister Kai Reimer is one of the ministers that really hit the ground running.
Definitely,
He's
we have
not
to give him that.
much of a speaker, but trust me, he is the action
The
man
action,
of this
yeah.
government for
Yeah.
sure. Really on the ground, making sure that the major issues are dealt with. So I'm really happy to see plans are in place.
I agree.
Well detailed, effective plans
I agree.
seemingly
And I'm
in
just
place to deal with
hoping
it.
I'm just hoping in these areas that works do not start and stop. And that's been a big problem that we've had in the past, and I'm just hoping for all the best. But I'm glad to see this report coming out of the House.
All right, viewers, we're going to move along to our final story for today. Shocking one, actually. The Royal Virgin Islands Police Force has confirmed the death of Mr. Carlton Pickering. Now, the decomposed body of the 61-year-old BV Islander was found at his residence in Jean Hill today at 10:45 a.m. Like we said, investigations are ongoing. I know the police were there for quite a number of hours trying to ascertain what exactly happened. And like we said, investigations are ongoing, and as the details arise, we will be bringing those to you. More news from the Royal Virgin Islands Police Force as it relates to the arrest blotter. Police arrested and charged Sherman Sebastian, 39, of Fatags Bay for theft. He was granted bail in his own recognizance to appear before the magistrate's court on the 4th of next month. Police arrested and charged Edwin Christopher, 42, of Longbush for theft as well. He was granted bail in his own recognizance to appear before the magistrate's court on the 31st of March 2020. Police arrested and charged Mr. Keith Roy Joseph, 31, of Long Look, for being armed with an offensive weapon. He was granted bail in the amount of $10,000 with one signed surety to appear before the magistrate's court on the 19th of March 2020. Police arrested and charged Elisha Barry, 23, of the Valley Virgin Gorda for unlawful and malicious wounding. He was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with one signed surety to appear before the magistrate's court on the 26th of March 2020. Finally, police arrested and charged 16-year-old male of Sandbox Road for common assault. He was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with one signed surety to appear before the magistrate's court on the 3rd of March 2020. We also have a few arrest charges on a 16-year-old, of course, who is charged for driving without a license, reckless driving, driving an unlicensed vehicle, and failing to stop at the sound of a siren. He was granted bail in the amount of $5,000 with one signed surety to reappear before the magistrate's court on the 22nd of April 2020. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. Not only do we have a bunch of written articles over there, but we also have recaps of our shows, our various shows, via the 284 Media platform. So head over to 284media.com, share the articles, spread the word. We love everything. We love you guys rocking with us, okay?
Definitely.
And you can also like us on Facebook at 284 Media and 284 BVI on Instagram as well as Twitter. I'm Javon Wilson.
And I'm Kyla Kenesha Forbes. We'll see you again on Tuesday because Monday is a holiday.
Yes.
You know, as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international content. 284 News, your source for honest and impartial news right here on 284 Media. Have a happy Friday and a very
Great.
long weekend,
Yes.
everybody.